Well, good morning, Savannah. How's everybody doing this morning? You are listening to WRUU-LP Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM and WRUU.org. We are Savannah Sounding Community Radio with Global Soul. I am your host and your life coach, GinaSherrie, and welcome this morning to the Daily Dose. I want to take a moment to welcome everybody in, whether you're joining me for the very first time or you've been here for the journey for a while. I am glad that you are tuning in this morning with little old me. This is your space for truth, healing, and personal growth, a place where your voice matters and your transformation is honored. So remember, healing doesn't have to be loud, and the growth doesn't have to be hard. Sometimes all it takes is a small shift, a kind word, or a moment of stillness. So wherever you are this morning, whether you are walking, driving, laying in the bed, or sipping your morning coffee, this space right here is for you, and it's for him, it's for me, it is for everybody. So yeah, let's jump right into this. Before though we jump into our topic for today, we're going to do some recap and some listeners comments and questions. So you guys know I really love the fact that you guys are not only tuning in, but you guys are being engaged in the conversation. It just tickles my little button that you guys are tuning in, and I really appreciate that. So last Sunday, we talked about outgrowing spaces, and that was very powerful and often an uncomfortable truth about outgrowing spaces and people. So we jumped right into that one. Whether you guys were, or not you guys, but all of us, it's a relationship that we outgrew, a job that we outgrew, a mindset, or even a physical environment that we outgrew. There comes a time when that version of you that used to fit in those spaces no longer does. We also explored what it feels like to recognize that inner tug, the soul whispering saying we've evolved, we've grown, and it's time to move on. That soul whisper, it does speak. It speaks loud and clear if we take that moment to listen. I reminded you that outgrowing something doesn't make you ungrateful. It makes you aware, and we definitely need to start being aware of not just our surroundings, but that inner feeling, that inner thought, that little whisper that you guys hear, that feeling that you get when you know that you no longer belong in that space. And it's okay. And I don't think that we need to apologize because we've grown and we're ready to evolve and move forward with things. So let's jump into listeners real quick. And I love this name because this is my nephew's name. So anybody with the name Jordan, hey, that's my nephew's name. So Jordan from Atlanta. Shout out to Atlanta. Atlanta always be checking in. Thank you, Atlanta. He said last week's show hit me hard. I've been holding on to a friendship that no longer feels mutual, and hearing you talk about giving ourselves permission to evolve gave me the courage to finally set some boundaries. And you guys know how I feel about boundaries. Like, you guys know how important it is to have boundaries, but not just to have them, but to be able to reinforce them when it is time, when somebody thinks that they can cross that line across your boundaries. Like, it's cute having them, right? But the main work and having boundaries is implementing those boundaries when somebody crosses them, right? I think that's the hardest for us to do. You guys are going to hear me talking about boundaries throughout any show because I think that it's very important and necessary to have boundaries, whether it's boundaries at work, boundaries with your friends, boundaries with your family, boundaries with anything, right? Like, if you need a moment of silence, a moment of peace, or anything that you need to mentally, physically, and emotionally help you, then I think it is a great idea to have boundaries. And Jordan, if that friend values you, if that friend values the relationship that you guys have, then they would respect your boundaries, and they would know that it's not a personal, anything personal with them. It's not a personal attack on them. You're just saying, hey, I need to check in with me. And there is nothing wrong with that. And I'm happy you got to the point that you are strong enough and you're courageous enough to actually set those boundaries, right? Because sometimes it's hard to set boundaries with the ones that we love and been in our life for a very long time. But like I said before, it doesn't matter how long you guys been friends or how long that person's been in your life. If there's no value in that relationship, then you guys already know what time it is. Go ahead and unplug. And if you do set those boundaries and they have a problem with those boundaries, then that person is already telling you how they feel about you. And at that point, you need to make the decision to walk away. Right? Yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, there might be tears. Yes, you're going to be frustrated. Yes, there's going to be a point where you feel lonely. However, you cannot pour into somebody else's if your cup is empty. So how can you give and give and give if you have nothing to give? So yes, it's okay, Jordan, to set those boundaries. It's okay to be, I don't want to use the word selfish, but maybe that is, so that way that you can check in with you. So shout out to Atlanta, shout out to Jordan. Thank you so much for connecting and being a listener to the Daily Dose. Like, I really love the fact that it's reaching and people are getting something out of it, right? Because that's the point of our journey. So thank you, Jordan. Tasha emailed me, and if you guys want to be like Tasha and email me, you can do that at hostginasherrie@gmail.com. Again, host GinaSherrie, GinaSherrie @gmail.com. Tasha emailed me and said, well, she didn't say where she was from, but shout out to Tasha, wherever you at. I've been afraid to leave a job I've outgrown because I'm afraid of the unknown. Thank you for helping me see that fear doesn't mean I shouldn't move. It just means that I am human. Yeah. So I think that's very, very noble of you, that you understand that and that you know that you're ready to move on. Yeah, it is scary, right? Like, we're all in that transition in one space or time in our lives. Like, we're all transitioning to something more and something bigger, something, I would say something better, right? And it can be scary. Like, I'm in a transition myself, so I definitely understand. Been in a career for 22 years and doing what I do. Like, I can do it in my sleep now, and now wanting to start a new career after 22 years and afraid of that unknown. Like, yeah, it is scary, you guys. Like, I don't know if I'm more afraid of success or afraid of failure, right? But for me, I am that person that will take that leap. I rather know if it works and me trying it instead of not trying it and not doing it. So if I keep talking about changing careers and having this life that I want for myself, but I never go after it, then that's when I think that we fail. There's nothing wrong with falling. There's nothing wrong with trying something and it not working out for you. I feel like you should do that no matter what. If it does not work, then I don't think you should be ashamed of that. And I don't think that you can call that a failure. It was something that you tried, it didn't work out. And then you're going to go back to the drawing board and try again, right? That's how I feel about that. So yes, Tasha, like, I understand, and I totally get it. That unknown is scary for most of us. But I know you got this. And the reason why I know you got it is because you're taking the courage to jump out there and do that. And so I wish you all the luck, and I know that you're gonna write in again and email me again and tell me, GinaSherrie, I went out there, I did it, I accomplished it, like, and I am evolving in my new space. So thank you, Tasha, for emailing me. Like I said, if you guys want to be a part of this conversation, you guys want to email me, let me know. You guys can do so at hostginasherrie@gmail.com, or you guys connect with me on Instagram. I was about to say Facebook, but Instagram at Life Coach GinaSherrie. And if you guys do that, please use the hashtag either the Daily Dose, or use the hashtag of what our topic is for today, which we're going to tell you that in just a moment. To all of you guys that reached out, though, thank you. You are not alone, and growth is uncomfortable, but it is very, very necessary. So shout out to Jordan from Atlanta. Shout out to Tasha, wherever you're at. I appreciate you guys. So let's move on. Today's topic, though, you guys, is about making peace with the past. And how many of us have not made peace with our past, or we're still working on making peace with our past, or something that we've done, something that has happened to us, something that we have just never been able to outgrow or let go. We're going to talk about that today. We've all got one. We all got a past, and some of us are still dragging it around like a bag of bricks. Guilt, shame, regret, betrayal, heartbreak. Like, there's so many different things that we're holding on to, and you guys know who I'm about to reference right now. You guys gonna know who Erykah Badu is by the end of this, because y'all keep saying why you keep mentioning Erykah Badu and Bag Lady. If you don't know who that is, go listen to that song, please, because Bag Lady definitely goes with everything that we seem to be talking about on the Daily Dose, because you're carrying so much weight. Regret, hurt, betrayal, anything that's happened to us that puts weight on our shoulders. We're carrying all that, right? And she's not talking about just carrying purses. She's talking about carrying the weight of depression, the weight of not feeling good enough, the weight of inconsistencies, the weight of anything that weighs us down. Like, and she's saying, Bag Lady, like, you can't get where you're going because you got so much weight on you, because you can't hurry up because you got too much stuff. Like, and that's exactly, like, I just love how that fits into what we are talking about, and what we do talk about on a regular basis, just dropping those loads and releasing some of our hurt, some of our pain, some of our anything that we've been holding on to that's not letting us evolve into the person that we want to be. So, yep. And if we're still dragging it, like I said, we could be dragging it from guilt, from shame, from regret, from betrayal, from heartbreak, and all of us have heartbreak one way or another. So that's going to be our topic. So let's jump right into this. Okay. You don't have to make your past disappear, first of all, because it's not going anywhere, right? It happened. It's there, but you can make peace with it, right? You can learn from it. I think that a lot of things that we go through, it should be, and it can be, a learning lesson for us. And sometimes, and I'm just going to say this because I'm one of them, sometimes, like, we get put through the same stuff over and over again, and we be asking ourselves why we keep going over the same thing. Why does this keep happening to me? Maybe because, and this is just my opinion, maybe because we have not learned from that situation. And we're going to keep going back over it again and again until we learn from it and not go back there. Can I give an example? Yeah, I can give an example. Like, women. I'm gonna just put this out there because this is something that I've been going through. We keep asking ourselves, and a lot of people have said this to me, I keep picking the same guy in different bodies. And a guy could be doing the same thing. I know a guy that sits in my chair all the time, and he's like, I don't know what it is, but it's like I keep meeting the same chicks. And I'm like, dude, like, you're gonna keep meeting the same people if you don't figure out why do you keep choosing the same people, right? And so that is something that you need to work on, and something that that's always going to remain there, because if you do not change habits, do not change mindsets, do not change something that is going on within you, then you're going to keep picking the same person in different bodies. So that's a little example, because I feel like it is so true. Like, how can we move on, and how can we get over this hump if we keep doing the same thing over and over again? So, and that could be a trigger from something that happened to you, a bad relationship or abuse sometimes. And if I talk to a lot of people, they keep picking the same person or being in the same situation because of some of the abuse that they endured, and it's like a comfortable feeling for them. So it's hard for them to step out of that and be able to heal and move on to something else, because it's comfortable. And a lot of us stay in situations because it's comfortable. Whether it's toxic behavior, toxic friendships, toxic whatever, we stay in that because it's comfortable for us. But this is what the Daily Dose is about, to make us uncomfortable so that we can grow, learn, and evolve into the person that we want to be. Okay, so like I said, your past doesn't have to disappear. You just have to make peace with it. And making peace doesn't mean you condone what happened. Let's say that again. Making peace doesn't mean that you condone what happened. It means you are no longer letting it control your present. What does that mean? You're not letting something that happened 10 years ago control who you are today, right? Something that happened to me growing up, or in my early 20s. Yeah. So went through that whole episode, and because of that, I let that determine the first part of my adulthood. And I thought that I did not deserve any more than what I was allowing myself to have because of something that I did not deserve any more than what I was allowing myself to have because of something that I did and I was ashamed of. And I say stagnant. In a lot of ways, I felt like this was my consequence, right? I felt like I can only have this because of what I did. And I remember bringing my dad into a conversation, right? And my dad said to me, everybody's already let it go. God has already forgiven you. The only person that's punishing you is you. And like, now that I'm a little bit older, like, I totally understand now what he is saying. Like, you've been holding back on your dreams. You've been holding back on some of the talent that you have. You've been holding back on everything because you made a mistake when you were 18 years old. And girl, you were like, and I was in my 30s at that time, right? And he was like, the only person that hasn't forgiven you is you. The only person that's holding you back is you. And he was like, the only person that hasn't forgiven you is you. The only person that's holding you back is you. Because I couldn't let go of something that I did, and I was so afraid to go after new things because I didn't think that I deserved it. So sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, you are standing in your own way. You are punishing yourself from the mistakes that you did when you was a young adult. You know what I'm saying? Or even maybe a year or two ago. Like, whatever the time limit is. If you made a mistake. Now, I don't want you guys to confuse this with keep making the same mistakes, right? Like, you can't keep making the same, because after that, it's not a mistake anymore, right? Like, it's part of your character and a habit for you, right? So you still definitely need to put some work in to change that behavior. But if you did something and you're still holding on to it till this day, baby girl, baby boy, it is time for you to like really look deep within and know that your past is not your future. And you can have the life that you want. You can have the dream that you want, and you can go after that. You can go after that dream job. And I know what some of you guys are thinking, like, you don't know what that person could have done. Like, but you don't know what I possibly could have done, right? Like, and at that point, it kind of doesn't matter in a sense, right? As long as you can grow from that and you don't go back to that, and you make better choices with your decision making, and yeah, you guys can still have a life that you dreamed of. Like, I don't want you guys to feel like just because you made a mistake and you got in trouble when you were younger, or you did something stupid, like you can't recover from it, because you can. And if anybody is telling you in your life that because of something that you did that you cannot recover, you cannot move on, you cannot do this, you cannot do that, I need you to unplug from that person. Because sometimes you have people in your life that tell you that because they don't want you. They're comfortable with you being in that particular space. So if you start growing and start healing, then it's like you're going to outgrow them, and you're going to outshine them. So some people are comfortable with you not having self-esteem about yourself, and not feeling that you can grow and evolve, because they don't want you to outgrow them or outshine them, right? So you guys know, you guys hear me say it all the time, if you're in that situation, unplug and plug up somewhere where you are valued and people can pour into you and love on you, and you can pour into them and love on them. Okay, let's ask ourselves something really quickly. And you guys, this is a time where if you do not have your journals, go and get them. If you are in a space where you can write something down, if you're not, if you can make a mental note, then definitely do that and go back to this. But go grab your journals if you don't have them already. And this is the first part of something that we can write down, right? What story am I still telling myself about what happened? And I will read that again, okay? What belief about myself was born out of that wound? Who would I be if I stopped identifying with the pain? So let me go back over them one more time. What story, number one, what story am I still telling myself about what happened? What belief about myself was born out of of that wound? Who would I be if I stopped identifying with the pain? And I really like the last one. Who would I be if I stopped identifying with the pain? Like, I was so broken, you guys, from the abuse I endured when I was younger. Mental abuse. And mental abuse is very heavy, you guys. Like, it can definitely stick with you throughout your childhood. I mean, not your child, but your adulthood and everything else. And then, like, it can trigger some things, especially if you're going after something and you're afraid, it doesn't seem like it's really working out. Then you get that trigger, like, it is working out because somebody said this to me, and I feel this way about myself. Like, when I had to learn how to stop identifying with the pain of being hurt, of things that's been said to me, and there were some awful things said to me growing up, and that the people that were supposed to protect me were the ones that were afflicting this pain, right? And yes, mental abuse is pain. And in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, you guys don't have to agree with me, but it's just my opinion, sometimes, in some cases, mental abuse is 10 times harder to recover from than physical abuse, because